Welcome back to Crawford-Clark Close-Up and the culmination of our Halloween horror videos for 2020. We've saved the best for last as this year marks the 40th anniversary of auteur Stanley Kubrick's hypnotic, epic nightmare of horror, The Shining, based loosely off Stephen King's 1977 novel. Stripped away is the excess of King's prose, which for this reviewer has always been difficult to fight my way through, for a claustrophobic tale of one man's descent into madness during isolation with his family for the winter season in a seemingly haunted hotel. The trailer featured nothing but a cascade of blood pouring from hotel elevator doors, and Wendy Carlos and Rachel Elkin's unbeatably chilling score, and should have prepared audiences from the outset. Jack Nicholson, Shelley Duvall, and Danny Lloyd are brilliantly cast. Nicholson himself an extroverted character actor who manages to perfect every beat of the character, from his optimism in Ullman's office through his spiral into madness. Duvall appears at first to be miscast as suffering Wendy, but develops throughout the story. Her realization that Jack's story has revolved around hundreds of pages of all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy is still one of the most expertly staged scenes in movie history. Danny Lloyd is also excellent as Danny Torrance, our window into what's really happening at the hotel, given his powerful ability to shine. There's also excellent support from Scatman Crothers, who Nicholson insisted Kubrick find a role for in the movie, who plays the Overlook's cook, Dick Halloran. We're also treated to the wonderful Philip Stone, returning after his work on Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange and Barry Lyndon to play previous caretaker Delbert Grady for one of the film's best interactions in the blood-red bathroom of the ballroom where Jack's sanity truly slips. It's clear to see why King himself would hate this stripped-back adaptation of his work. Largely chastised are the overt references to Jack's struggles with alcohol and command over son Danny during his dark days, as well as the presence of the ghosts of the Overlook Hotel themselves, something so dominant in Mick Garris's flawed 1997 television adaptation that King in fact oversaw and wrote the screenplay for, which plays such a small role in Kubrick's vision for the story, save for some moments in the extended cut of the film where Wendy sees skeletons in the hotel when the story reaches its climax, which in itself feels inconsistent with the moody, sombre film that Kubrick is making. For Kubrick, The Shining is a slow-building thriller, keeping audiences on their toes, subverting expectations, leading us down corridors, making us question everything we see, which makes the film that much more evocative. The Shining is a movie that's been open to many interpretations since its original release, so much so that documentary Room 237, released in 2012, is both an insightful and perhaps infuriatingly anal approach to all aspects of Kubrick's work on the film, everything from windows in the wrong place to Danny's Apollo 11 jumper being linked to Kubrick faking the footage of the moon landing. It's an interesting exploration into various interpretations of the film for true fans of Kubrick's work. The Shining's Overlook Hotel interiors were built entirely at Elstree Studios in Hertfordshire, and the entire space is utilised by Kubrick, weaving the camera down wide corridors, juxtaposing the innocence of a child riding his tricycle with the ominous maze-like design of the carpets, and the thud of the tricycle wheels on carpet and wood flooring sounding like a heartbeat. The beauty is in the meticulous detail that a director like Kubrick brings to proceedings. This is classic horror, more thriller-like in its design. That's not to say that Mick Garris's television adaptation is entirely flawed. Despite hamming up the screen at times, the later into the story we go, Steven Weber is a great choice to play Torrance. The Jack of King's novel is more fleshed out here over the 4-hour-plus series, as is his relationship with Rebecca De Mornay's Wendy. It's Cortland Mead's Danny who pales in comparison to Danny Lloyd in Kubrick's film, however, coming across as your stereotypically irritating child actor, and the story becomes a little too saccharine by the end. Kubrick's The Shining is a masterpiece of a movie, gripping you from Jack's winding journey to the hotel for the interview to the mundanity of the Monday, Wednesday, days of the week text dragging out the Torrance's stay in the hotel to the chilling finale in the maze, a construction built entirely for this vision of King's story. The film still has the power to shock and awe in equal measure and demands to be seen in the highest resolution possible. Grab the 4K and see every fibre in the hypnotic patterns of the Overlook's carpets. If you're looking for a replica of King's novel, I suggest sticking with the 1997 television series. If you can accept that the novel is its own beast and are looking for an aesthetically intricate and beautifully crafted thriller from a master who demands 148 takes of single scenes to achieve perfection from his cast, look no further than Kubrick's The Shining. On discovering that Stephen King would be releasing Dr. Sleep, a continuation of the Shining story focusing on an adult Danny having to return to the Overlook and summon his shining powers once again, I was sceptical. I was even more so when I learned that they would be adapting the story into a film with Ewan McGregor playing adult Danny. When I realised that Oculus, Hush and Haunting of Hill House director Mike Flanagan would be at the helm, the worry quickly dissipated. With Dr. Sleep, Flanagan carefully manages to craft a story that's both a faithful continuation of Kubrick's vision, yet also rectifying some of the omissions from King's work to make a cohesive, engaging sequel. McGregor gives a brilliant performance as a struggling Danny, following in the footsteps of his alcoholic father, whose demons return, as well as visions of the late Halloran, to warn of the dangers of a travelling cult known as the True Knot, led by Rebecca Ferguson's fabulously flamboyant Rose the Hat. The nods back to Kubrick's work are stellar. The film oozes in atmosphere from start to finish, and Kylie Curran is a serious talent as newcomer Abra, who ventures back to the Overlook with Danny for the chilling finale. So much attention to detail is paid to honour what has come before and to present an often equally disturbing and eerie film as its predecessor. The film also contains one of the most shocking child death sequences in any modern horror, as Jacob Tremblay's Bradley falls victim to the True Knot. If you're a fan of King's work or of Kubrick's take on The Shining, Dr. Sleep is a must-see. It's easy to see why The Shining has stood the test of time 40 years on and often sits atop critics' lists of the greatest horror movies of all time. It's a story that's meticulously crafted, that gets under your skin, and makes you question your own limitations. Happy 40th anniversary to The Shining, which from Crawford-Clark Close-Up absolutely deserves. So we've come to the end of this year's Halloween horror and the end of our videos for a little while. 2020 has undoubtedly been a strange year, and for this channel it's put some of our content out of sync. We were supposed to be leading into November with our reviews of the Daniel Craig James Bond movies in the build-up to the hugely anticipated No Time to Die, but COVID put an end to all that. Will the movie go to streaming before cinemas, as so many others currently are? At the time of recording this, it's still anyone's guess. What's for sure is that we will be completing our James Bond retrospective, and as soon as we know when we're getting No Time to Die, we'll be bringing you those final videos. We're taking a break through November, but we will be back soon with our Christmas challenge. To cheer us all up during these uncertain times, we're going to be bringing the festive spirit to the channel from December 1st, so look out for that soon. Thank you as ever to everyone who has subscribed to the channel so far. It really means a lot and makes the production and editing of these videos worthwhile if you guys are enjoying the content. Don't forget to click subscribe at the top of the page if you've not yet done so, if you enjoyed this video, and you can come and find Crawford-Clark Close-Up on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. You can email us with suggestions for future reviews on the channel, crawfordclarkcloseup@gmail.com, and you can see if our movie tastes align by following us on the movie app Letterboxd. Just search CC Close-Up. For now, happy Halloween, thanks for watching, and until next time, that's a wrap.